I posted recently on my Instagram to post some questions, see if I can help motivate, inspire, and give you some advice. So here we go. Ready, Adam?
First of all, before we get into this, a message from today's sponsor.
You're becoming a real salesman.
No. So today's sponsor, ladies and gentlemen, is
Me.
Producer Michael. So the Producer Michael Boutique is our online store, and today we are going to be talking about this watch, which is now going to be known forever since our conversation as the Beverly Hills Spec Richard Mille.
Yeah, so Beverly Hills, you guys have probably heard, has become crime central. It's really bad, really, really bad. And even the sheriff here has warned people not to wear valuable and expensive items. So this is my Beverly Hills watch. It's a Tsar Bomba, I think I pronounced that correctly. It looks really expensive. And I figured, hey, if I'm going to get shot or murdered or robbed or whatever, they're not going to get away with something nice. So they can have this. It's inexpensive. It looks great. And hey, yeah, there you have it.
It's got to be one of the weirdest sales pitches for a watch. Like, hey, this is cheaper than an RM, so if I'm going to get murdered, I'm going to wear this one.
But besides that, it's just good value for money. I mean, it's an expensive looking watch for very little money.
We've spoken about other brands that kind of do a similar thing. They try to replicate that RM look, and there are a lot of knockoffs, but the Tsar Bomba is a great, very, very, very affordable way to get into that sort of look. The case is a crushed carbon case. Like, it feels great in the hand. I mean, I don't own an RM, but I've felt plenty of them, and this thing does not leave me feeling like it's cheap and flimsy. And
no, it doesn't feel any different to an RM.
Actually, this is the first time that I'm wearing a more expensive watch than you are.
Yeah, and you're in Beverly Hills. That's not why.
So go to the Producer Michael Boutique, producermichael.com. Go and check it out. Obviously, we are authorized dealers for all of the new inventory on the website. We also have things like Rolexes and APs and Pateks. Now, they are going to be used pieces, so we don't have the authorized dealer badge for those, but you can still buy with confidence. They are coming from very, very reputable watch sellers. So yeah, go on there, have a look around, see what you can find: shirts, fragrances, all kinds of other good stuff. And yeah, check out Producer Michael Boutique at producermichael.com.
Look at you. I mean, yeah, I mean, you're better than 99% of all salespeople out there.
I think I'm going to try and get a job on what's that telesales thing where they do
home shopping.
Home shopping.
You'd
network.
be very good at that.
Yeah,
Flip this pancake this way.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's motivate some people. So Flawless says, "Hi dear Michael, how to stay positive when you've had to deal with very bad things?"
Very interesting question. My answer to that is, I always try to remember that anything that happens in life is temporary, right? There's revolving time, and if something bad happens, then you just have to look at the time where you are now and where you'll be in a week from now, 2 weeks, 6 months. Say, hey, it can get better. So if you look at the bad thing, you look to the positive, which is the improvement on where you are now. Never let it get to you. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think time is a great healer, for sure.
Heals everything.
Yeah.
Well, I rephrase it. It doesn't heal everything. It certainly puts a great band-aid on everything.
Yeah.
And as time goes by, everything appears to get better.
I think having the mindset to be able to, even in the darkest of times, look for those little glimmers of hope and really hold on to them. I think that's the important thing, isn't it? Is just making the most of any small victories that happen during that time where you're feeling down, something bad has happened.
And always keep a positive mindset. That's key number one. If you're not positive, you're going to have a doomsday. So always stay positive.
All right, next question from VIG Slick said, "Would you say that credit score is important to the wealthy?"
I would say the credit score is important to everybody, because regardless of what you do, even if you're very wealthy, if you want to go and buy a house or you want to buy a car, even if you're paying cash, nowadays they actually run your credit. I don't know why they do that, but they do. Did you know they did that?
I didn't realize if you wanted to pay cash, they would run credit.
Yeah, they do. Certain dealerships, I know Aston Martin, for example, they certainly do it. I don't know why they do it, but it's something, I believe, to do with Homeland Security. It's certainly good to have good credit, and it also shows, if somebody's looking, you've been reputable in paying your bills, you've been on time, and that other companies deem you worthy of credit. So I would say try and get your credit score as high as you possibly can.
Next question from Lightfoot634 says, I want to change careers, but I have no idea what to go into. What advice would you give?
There's two types of career. There's one where you become your own boss, and the second one is where you become an employee of somebody else. If you want to become your own boss, think about things that you've struggled with. If you wanted to do something, buy something, whatever it might be, and you've struggled because you couldn't find it, that is something that you could follow as a career path, because you won't be the only one that's struggling if it's difficult to find, right? Or anything along those lines. So, locate something that there's a failure with, there's a problem in obtaining it. So always go out and build something that doesn't exist. That would be number one. And if you want to do something in the path of being an employee of somebody, what I would say is find something that you like. If you don't love what you do, it's a jail sentence, right? So you want to go to work and have fun, enjoy it. So find something that you're passionate about and become good at it, and then go get yourself a good job.
Our Kenneth710 says, do I still have a chance for success at 39? Oh, that's old. 39
Ouch.
years old.
Ouch.
It's me in 5 years.
You have a chance at any age. There's no boundary to success. And there's also no definition of success. So depending on, what you want in life, if you achieve it, regardless of whether it's a monetary factor, a health factor, whatever it might be, that's success. There's no boundaries. So absolutely, 39, 49, 89, if you have the get up and go and you want to do something, you can absolutely succeed in it. Do you agree with that?
100%. Yeah, I mean, age is just a number, and I think that is becoming more and more true as medical science improves and everything else. I mean, even when I look back to when I was a kid, and I would look at a 50-year-old person, and that would seem like an old person. Nowadays, 50, people are just getting started.
That's right.
People are living their best life starting from their 50s and 60s.
The other thing to take into consideration, go back just 30 or 40 years, people's lifespan was 50, 60, and that was, you were done, right? Yeah. And if you managed to survive beyond that, you were a walking stick or what have you. Now, people are living into their 90s and they're playing tennis at 90. And
that's it, isn't it? People are being more fit, healthy, they're being conscious about how they look after their bodies. And so, I think as long as you have that goal and that drive to achieve something, age is absolutely not a factor whatsoever.
That's very, very true.
Joel02X says, what is the best advice you could give to a young entrepreneur for success?
Follow your passion. Follow your passion, do something that you love, watch your cash flow, make sure you concentrate on sales. Whatever it is you do, sales is what it's all about. Everything else will come. But if you don't have sales, you don't have cash flow. You don't have cash flow, you don't have a business. There's not a company in the world that's gone under by not having a positive cash flow. So you can make lots of profit, but if your cash flow is negative, you're going to have problems. Sales, sales, sales.
Joe Shinko says, when trying to build your company, what are your thoughts on outside investors?
My thoughts are, if you can manage to do something without them, that's always the best way, because you're starting off without debt. But oftentimes, more often than not, you need those outside investors. So if you build a solid business plan and you know exactly the direction that you're going to go in, and you can account for every penny that you ask for, never take more than you need, because that's debt, those investors will be your best friends.
All right, I don't even want to ask you this question, but
then don't ask me.
Gandon Lel says, thoughts on crypto now?
Thank you for that question. I have since day one absolutely hated crypto. I think it's the biggest scam to have ever appeared, and it's controlled by very few people who make themselves fortunes of money, and there's been many people that have made themselves fortunes of money, but there's been many, many more that have lost money. It's a hype. It has no value. It's completely and utterly worthless. It's collapsed. It's going to stay that way until somebody hypes it up again, which will be somebody that controls the majority of it. probably not for a long time. Get out of crypto. I believe blockchain is phenomenal. That's a brilliant technology, and that's a technology of the future. But crypto, I'm very scared of it. What do you think of crypto, Adam?
Cool Village Group says,
Did you notice that? There's no response. This guy here talked me into buying some crypto, and I did.
you made some money.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you
I didn't sell it.
Right, but if you had have sold it.
If I'd have sold it, I'd made a little bit of money.
But you also did buy in at the wrong times without asking me, didn't you? Because you got trigger happy.
I just bought some.
Ooh!
I treated it as if I was in Vegas at the casino.
Exactly.
Let's bet on red or black.
Exactly.
And you know, with crypto, it's a no-win. So you hit the zero, you hit the green.
I'm still winning.
Yeah, but you've lost the majority of what you made.
But I'm still
But
up.
it's horrible. Guys, stay away from it. Tangible assets. Buy things you can feel, touch. Stay away from crypto.
Buy crypto. So Cool Village Group says, have you ever been in a situation where everything seemed to be going wrong?
No, you've got to stop yourself before it gets that far. If you get in a situation where you see things are going in the wrong direction, stop as fast as you see it. You don't want to just continue in that path. So you've got to find out what's going wrong, why is it going wrong, and stop it as soon as you can. Make changes and then go forward with the changes, and odds are you'll fix it. But the big trick is analyze the issue. What's going wrong? Why is it going wrong? What can I do to change it?
RC1984 says, are you still considering moving to another part of America?
Yes.
Like Montana, perhaps?
I am definitely considering moving to a different part of America. Right now, I'm driving around Beverly Hills. It's absolutely gorgeous. The weather's gorgeous. But the moment you get out of the car, you're in fear factor. It's crazy. I mean, it's become so violent. There's no regulation here on crime. The whole state of California is the biggest mess. And gosh, I hope other states don't follow, but it's such a mess. You won't find one person in California that can say a good thing about it. So, am I thinking about it? Very much so. Will I do it? That's another story.
Well, I was only thinking about this the other day. We did a very similar drive around Beverly Hills where you were singing the praises of Beverly Hills is the safest place in the world. If you call the police, they will be there within, 20 seconds and blah, blah, blah. And now it is literally like the Wild West out here.
They're still coming 20 seconds. They'll arrest the person and then 15 minutes later they're back out on the streets because we've got this, I don't even have words to describe the DA we have here. I can't pronounce his name. I think it's something like toilet. But it's just unbelievable, and the people that support him are even worse. I just don't get it, but I think good things are coming. So there's a perfect example of what I said before. It's temporary. Soon these people will be gone. They'll be replaced with people with brains, and we'll be back to where we used to be. That's my thoughts.
Fingers crossed, mate. Okay, Jack Pears or Pears 95 says, is the risk of quitting your job to start your own business worth it, even if it fails?
Absolutely. And then if it fails, you start another one and you keep going until it works, because it will. And you learn by experience. Nobody gets it right first time. You're very lucky if you get it right first time, right, Adam?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, there's a much bigger reward for doing it yourself. Let's say, for example, you're working in McDonald's and your job there is to make hamburgers, and then the manager or whoever's in charge says to you at the end of your shift, now you have to clean the floors. You weren't hired as a floor cleaner, however, and there's nothing wrong with being a floor cleaner, but that's not what you were hired for. But your employer has the right to tell you whatever because you're employed by them. If you are your own boss, that can never happen. So to me, definitely worth it.
The key there though is that he's asking, is it worth doing even if it fails? And you would hope that going into it, like you said in your last question or the question before, you've done everything that you can to mitigate the chance of failure, right?
That's right. And
you can never get rid of it completely.
Failure is always a chance. In fact, the majority of new startups fail.
Yeah.
But you learn by the failures, and what I said earlier was analyze what went wrong, repeat what you did, but remove the elements that went wrong, and replace them with something else. You might fail a second time, but if you keep going, you will succeed. And when you do succeed, the rewards are fantastic.
Best example of that, Elon Musk.
There you go. Perfect example.
Richest man in the world. And he was flat broke after PayPal, I think it was. He didn't have a nickel to rub to, 2 nickels to rub together.
Right.
And now look at him, he's flying rockets everywhere, trying to get himself back home.
Don't quite know what that means, but yes.
I'm pretty sure Elon Musk is trying to build his spaceships so that he can fly himself back to Mars, because that's where he comes from. There is no way that man is human.
Mars or beyond.
Or beyond, yeah.
Beyond.
Yeah.
I would actually like to have Elon on the channel.
I would love that.
I think I'll actually reach out and see if we can make that happen, because he's such an interesting and fun guy.
Yeah.
And super smart. And I wish I had half his brains.
Yeah, no, and his ability to just continually output amazing things. Like, think about it, he's working on Tesla, SpaceX, The Boring Company, what other stuff's he doing?
Dogecoin, not really.
He's
in trouble, he's being sued for that. Did you see that?
He doesn't care.
No, he doesn't care. And the people can't win.
Literally the richest man in the world.
Yeah,
like, why do you even bother? Anyway, so yeah, I think that risk is definitely worth the reward if you are sensible about it.
That's absolutely right. And there's an expression that goes with that. He who doesn't gamble, gambles everything. So you've got to have a little gamble in life,
that.
right?
Yeah, I like
and you
that.
have to speculate to accumulate.
You do.
So with those things, and you start life, here's all my expressions. Start life with a PhD.
Yeah.
Poor, hungry, and driven. There you go.
That's it. So, talking of gambling, I think we should go to Vegas again soon.
I'm happy to go to Vegas.
All right.
But I don't gamble.
We'll play on the roulette tables.
Unless it's crypto, which I did, which was the worst gamble I ever did.
Cash in all your crypto, and then let's use that money, and let's, oh look, there's a photo shoot.
That's the new Range Rover. Looks nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's very nice.
I have a new one coming soon.
Oh, yeah, you do, don't you?
I do.
Cool. All right, you want to tell everybody bye?
That's it, we're done.
I think so.
Bye.
Make sure you go to producermichael.com, go to the boutique, go and check out the Tsar Bomba watches that we have on there. They will be linked in the description, and all of the other stuff we have. Yeah, buy with confidence, buy with love, buy with joy.
Listen to you. And hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Please remember that if you get any messages in the comments about WhatsApp me this, WhatsApp me that, they're fake, not from me. Report that account, because terrible human beings do this type of stuff, try and scam people. I have no tolerance for it. But we're in it to win it, so we won't let that happen. See ya.